Hello and welcome to Poppin Conversations, the podcast series where we keep it relatable, ridiculous, and realer than we probably should. I'm Shakara and I'm here with my magnificent mother.
Hello, I'm her magnificent mother, Ebony.
And today we're talking about embracing the differences in mother-daughter relationships. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Poppin Conversations. Subscribe to our YouTube at Poppin Conversations, Spotify at Poppin Conversations. Everywhere we are Poppin Conversations.
Exactly.
So, Mom, let's kick this off. How did you realize and when did you realize we were a mother-daughter duo?
When probably at an early age, I recognized your our differences, and so definitely when you were a teenager, we have some differences for sure. Definitely some mixed differences, strong opinions about everything. And I was like, okay, this little young lady has her own opinion about everything. But it worked out. You didn't get too beside yourself.
I think I was very curious. I'm still a very curious
Yes, you are.
person. So it was not even like pushing the limits or the envelope. It was just like, why?
You don't think
And
it
I
was
think
pushing the envelope.
no, it was just
Right.
curiosity. And I think you handled it very well with explaining to me why. And I think that was just like, so I had an opinion because then I knew why, on top of just being
Correct.
curious. Um,
I
it was
try
so
not to
many.
be one of those parents that shut you down every time you had a question. But there was a respect line that could not be crossed. You know, you were allowed to ask questions in certain aspects in certain rooms, but not where it was a disrespectful tone or that you was crossing that line.
Yeah, and I think that that helps so much because I think that you're traditional in the aspect like I'm your mom. This is what I
Correct.
said because I said so, but you still are modern in the approach. Well, this is still why. So as you grow and as you learn in life, like it's not just because I said so, it's because I'm building you to be the best version of yourself that you can be. And you used
Correct.
to always tell me, live a little. And I'm like, what are you talking
Live a
about?
little, you
Like,
gonna learn. You gonna get a if you decide to get a husband and a family and have a career, live a little. You gonna see exactly what I meant. Just live a
yeah,
little.
yeah, now that I'm a mom, I absolutely get it. My daughter is pushing every boundary,
That
asking
4 year old
every
is testing
question.
your gangster.
Four going on 14 for sure. And I was just telling the example the other day of like, you remember that time where I would ask questions and it would be like silent lunch, for instance. I'm like, Mom, the kids are getting in trouble at school, but I want to see what it's like. And
It
you
was
were just
also
like,
I
you're
didn't
crazy.
understand like why you always wanted to test those boundaries. So it's like everybody's getting silent lunch. I'm like, okay. And then he was like, but I want to do it. I'm like, so you want to get in trouble intentionally? I said, I don't care. I said, they better not call me or we're going to have a problem. And you did it one time. You got in
And I
trouble that
never did
one
it again.
time. They made you stand up and eat that lunch holding it in your hand. And you have never tested that little line again. You teeter.
You were not playing with me, but I still wanted to see it a little bit because, like I said, I was curious. But
So
again, it was like you let me have enough rope. You know, you're
correct.
not gonna let me hang myself, but enough to just get caught
Just enough.
a little,
And I'm
little
like,
knot.
okay. Just a little
And then
neck up with
I
the jerk
simmer,
it.
I simmer on down. But even now, I take everything that you tell me and I hear you. It's not really a
Do you?
disagreement.
Okay.
Yeah, like you tell us all the time, you guys, you have to find a way to balance everything. And at first, like last year, I'd be like, whatever, I'm not cooking. I don't feel like it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
doing this. But how do we expect to raise upstanding children that aren't lazy, that are balanced, that are in activities, but that are good at school and doing their homework and in the relationship where my spouse actually cares about me and we have a foundation and I have time for myself. Like it's intentional. You
Yeah, we didn't
say,
want to do it either. You know, I
yeah.
laugh at y'all all the time listening to you, especially when you use my favorite word. Oh, it's gonna happen by osmosis. That I'm like, okay, you want to use my word on me all the time, but I mean, we have a lot of mother daughter moments and sayings. Our differences have definitely led to some disagreements, but for the most part, we have been on the same page about everything. You like to always say you're overstimulated. We're not doing all those traditional things that you guys did in traditional roles. And I'm like, okay, I hear you, but y'all gonna have to rein in some. Y'all gonna have to get some kind of uh, semblance of schedules and routines. Because if not, you running in circles. So a lot of things we did because it just made the household run more effectively. Sometimes I didn't want to do it either. But if I didn't do it and your dad didn't do it, it wasn't gonna get done, and that's not how I wanted things to run in my house. So yes, we definitely have mother daughter differences, but for the most part, we're on the same page about how things should be done. You may go about approaching it slightly different than I do as far as getting your household together. But on the same aspect, you believe in a schedule for your child. You have a schedule for yourself. So your household runs. Mine runs like a well-oiled machine over here.
I bet
I've
it's
been
been
I've been
going for
I've
decades.
been welling this machine for a long time and welling that man as well. But I think one of the most important lessons I've learned from you has been me time. When you first told me that, I was like, girl, you don't get up out of here with that me time stuff. I'm like, me time? I'm like, I got Pete time, Chicago time, work time, school time. And then after I thought about it, I guess I did have me time because I did a lot of things with my BFF and friends and sorority sisters. So I guess that was me time, but I didn't carve out me time. You carve out me time
Yeah, for sure.
specifically on a regular. And that's
Daily.
something that's something that I'm definitely doing. Like, every year I'd have a word, and a couple years ago was matching action and matching energy. I'm
Mm.
never leaving that alone. I match your action, I match your energy. But now I'm adding me time. I am
Yeah.
me time after what I went through over the last year. Me time is in there on a regular. So when you text me and it just me time back to you, don't get offended. Don't get to calling your
Yeah,
daddy.
it's like you used to get offended when the phone is on Do Not Disturb. You're like, I remember the first time, you're like, what's this about? Like, so am I supposed to not text you and call you? Like, I don't care about Do Not Disturb.
I didn't. I didn't.
And it's not that, it's just to let everyone know, unless it's something really important, perhaps you could wait.
Is
And
that
then
what
as
it
a
is?
mom, you don't get time. Like, and like I
Mm-mm.
say, now I get it so much. I can't use the restroom by myself. I can't do anything without, and my husband and my daughter being there. They don't care.
They
Like,
don't care. But
they
look, and you
don't.
call me, people don't understand how much you call me and what you call
Yeah.
me for. So on the flip
Yeah.
side of this, I can't call you doing me time, but she can call me doing me
Yeah. If
time.
I call you and you don't answer, it's like I'm looking at your location because where's she at? Like,
I
why she
can't be on do not
answer?
disturb. I can't. I went on vacation for a year and for a week, and everybody about lost their mind that whole week. So I get what you're saying, but I don't think it really relates to
Reciprocated.
me. I think it's only for you and what you're doing that you can have me time. But yeah, I love it. I just think the key to embracing differences is communication. We have
For sure.
always been on the same page about respect and how we talk to each other in tone. So that has been key in our family, not just in our relationship, but my relationship with dad, my relationship with my nieces, my family. Communication is key in differences. Um, we have a saying, hey, I don't see it that way, but I hear you. I don't see it that way, but I hear you. So, and that's what I think people need to understand.
And finding a way to say it. A lot of people, I think they struggle with that communication and they think too hard into it. Perhaps they argue so much in their tone, like you said, their tone and their language that they use with each other isn't the healthiest. So when it's time to have those conversations that could be tough, like, hey, I don't like that you did that, or could you respect my space? They are afraid that it's going to come out completely wrong. See, we don't speak to each other in a tone that's not from love.
Correct.
And I think that that's something that was instilled in me from a very, very young age. So I don't struggle as hard as some people when it comes to those tough conversations. I just can say it. And I can even say, I mean this in the best way. And everybody knows I promise you, I really do mean it in the best way. But don't call me. Don't call me today.
I think too, with in that aspect. a lot of people in my generation and maybe past generations, when they say children were supposed to be seen and not heard. I mean, I get
Mhm.
that to a point because when there is adults conversation, children should not be in a room. But I also realized that a lot of people in my generation and prior generations didn't do a lot of apologizing, even if
Mm,
they were wrong as adults. And I think that's the key. As adults, you're wrong. And you're wrong sometimes on how you say things, your tone,
mhm.
not only to your child, but to your spouse. And if you can't apologize to someone, that's growth to me. You have to be able to know when you've wronged somebody or your tone was off and say, hey, I meant what I said. I said what I meant. The tone could have been
Standing
better.
on business.
I'm standing 10 toes down on business. However, self reflection is hard. I tell
Yeah.
people that, that's my big thing to the family. Self reflecting is hard. If you can't self reflect to change, I'll be looking at you sideways and don't really want to be bothered with you.
And another big lesson I've learned is that as a parent, you don't know everything. You're going to make
Mm-hmm.
mistakes. This is your first day on this earth,
Correct.
and so it is mine. And it is our desire that you're trying to be the best person you are every day. But we have to give you guys grace too. You don't know everything.
Correct.
And I think like it's just not clicking. Like, hey,
People
my
think
mom
that
don't know
as my moms
everything.
know everything. And you call me like I know everything.
Because you
But if
have a solution and an
But
answer
if
for
I but if
everything.
I don't, I'm a researcher. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go research and find you the answer. But I don't
Yeah.
know everything. And I'm not that mom that think I know everything. I'm not that mom that think I'm right about everything. I want you to find the answer. I want you to come back with solutions. That's not my personality. I don't have to be in charge of everything. I just want it to run well. Don't put my name or attach me to some mess. That's my whole thing. If we gonna do it, we're gonna do it in excellence. And that's my own thing. But even in my relationship with dad, I don't think I'm always right. Even probably 90% of the time, probably, yeah.
See, I don't really think that I'm wrong because
Most of us
before I
don't.
say stuff, I really try to think about it. I don't, and we'll have to ask Shaq if he think I just say things that I shouldn't say. Like I don't have to do a lot of apologizing, and I don't know if it's because I just withhold a lot and I watch what I say and I respect him, or I just don't care. So I guess I need to figure
It's a
out.
balance. For you, it's both.
Like,
I will let you know as your mom, for you, it's both. It's some of it is, I don't care. I'm saying I said it. You hardly ever say anything in a disrespectful manner, tone, or intent.
yeah,
But you
intent.
gonna say it. You gonna say it and they be like, well, I told you. What you always say, I tell you a joke, but I ain't gonna tell you a lie.
And then I'm grown now, that's my
Oh
whole
my
thing too. So
God.
I really
Oh,
feel like I am
oh.
grown. Okay, nobody check me. I said what I
Mm.
said.
Oh, for sure. That's a big
Because
one
I
for
did
you.
not. That's one thing I grew up with. You like, I'm grown. And I used to be like, oh, I can't wait till I'm grown. Cannot wait to use that one. Because
That
now,
word is overused, like overstimulated. I'm
yeah,
grown. Everything is I'm grown. Every time I'm like, oh, what are we doing for vacation? Are we doing X, Y, Z? I'm not doing that. I'm grown. I'm like, what does that have to
then
do
Shaki,
with
like, are you going
what
to
we
take
doing?
the chicken out so we can cook? I'm not doing it. I'm grown. I don't want chicken no more. He like, okay.
You do the most. You do the absolute most. You like that's my title, but you do the
It's
absolute most when it comes
liberating.
to.
I love it. I'm gonna be a grown woman forever. I was so serious. I'm just
You
grown.
so to say I'm grown. What I mean to say, what do you say all the time?
I don't feel like it. I'm
I'm
grown. I'm
I'm grown.
overstimulated.
Just
I can
lump
keep
them up.
going. I say them all.
So just to say that I'm grown, it does something to your soul.
Oh, yes. It's because I actually am grown. Like I'm in my 30s. Like I'm grown, grown. Like I wasn't really grown in my 20s. I was growing, but now I'm grown.
I have to think about what really sets my soul on fire when I can say it. Like when I say that word, it's like, yeah, that did something to
It's
tickle my
nothing else. I'm
fancy.
grown. Drops mic.
Girl, get a life. It's no, it's not that serious. But definitely we have different perspectives when it comes to a lot of things.
Yeah.
But as I said before, most of the time we're on the same page about a lot about raising our families and respect. I think because respect and communication has been key throughout your
Hmm.
life
Hmm.
and what has been modeled to you,
Hmm.
that you are a strong you reciprocate that back. So there's never been any like falling outs where I hear people say them and their parents are not speaking and they're
Hmm.
not speaking to their moms or dads. We've never had that problem
Hmm.
because one, we don't talk to each other crazy because I didn't allow it. You was a child and child stayed in a child's place, and I was a teen mom,
Hmm.
and people were like, wow, yes, I was a teen mom, but I still came from those old school folk who raised me, and I instilled a good balance because I
Hmm.
knew when it was too much and when it was not enough. And I balanced it out between letting you know I was in charge and I was your mom and bringing in the respect and love. But I would give you a spanking. Yeah, y'all don't do all that spanking and y'all on this gentle parenting thing. However, it's working for you. You do you. And then I would be like, you want some ice cream?
You legit.
Let's
And
go
I'm
get some ice
like,
cream.
yes.
Yeah, like a crazy kid. Yeah, I just got in trouble. I'm going to get ice cream. So I think it's a strong balance, and I think what people are missing is if you have trauma, then you introduce that trauma onto your child. Because Lord knows I didn't have the best childhood. I was raised in the 90s and drugs just riddled our whole family in my life. I didn't have parents who raised me, but I looked at different family dynamics from friends to school to reading books, and I created the family I wanted to have. And I'm like, I'm not gonna talk crazy to my family that
Mhm.
once my daughter get a certain age, she don't never want to come back home, or my husband really don't like me. If he choose to go do whatever it is he do outside this house and it ain't a part of the covenant of this marriage, it was not because of me. And baby, it was not, clock it. It was not because of me. It wasn't because I was acting crazy, talking, and I'm just, that ain't me. Because anybody know me know I have the most beautiful personality, and I am the same way all the time. You do not walk in here and be like, oh, I don't know if she's gonna be in a bad mood today.
Yeah.
So I think all that makes a good household for me run. I don't, whatever your household had to do to make it run, do you, but what my household did to make it run and be successful was respect and communication, and it worked for us. And that's how we tried to raise you, to be a respectable young lady. And I think you're doing a wonderful job as a mom. Well, I know you're doing a wonderful job as a mom. I'm proud of you. I love you. I look at you all the time. I'm like, oh my God, I raised her. Oh, I did a good job because I was that little teen mom that they didn't think. But baby, I showed them, didn't I?
You did, and we still showing them.
So
Every
I
day it takes
every day.
work and prayer and intention, intention, intention. I can't say that enough. You have to go back and reevaluate, like, Lord,
Mm-hmm.
I might not have did that right today, but tomorrow help me be better,
Correct.
and mean it and really try. Some
So,
people just be praying just to pray.
well, you can pray just to pray because God hears all prayers. Because I be
But
just
what
over here
your
on a
actions
tangent
gonna
about some of this stuff, but God hears. So definitely embracing differences for us has been communication and respect. And I
respect and
encourage
grace.
people and grace. Ooh, grace and mercy. I be like, give people some grace. Like, you don't know what people have been through. And, all of us ain't winning sat on the couch and got some help for our
Mhm.
past traumas or current traumas. So grace and mercy is extended to everyone. I am just thankful to be able to have this conversation with you. I'm thankful that we can share, some of our perspectives and things on how we've handled things with everybody. And I just thank you for saying, hey, mom, let's go ahead and do this. We've been talking about it for a year. That's it for today's episode of Poppin Conversation. If you enjoyed the chat, please be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. So stay real, keep it popping.
See you guys next time.